Welcome everyone. This is the channel which will cover a lot around sports, and the first specific topic which I've picked up is around ICC World Test Championship. So it's gonna be almost it will be 5 months now, where this championship has been started between the nine uh, cricket playing nations. So it includes Australia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, England, Sri Lanka, then New Zealand, West Indies. All of these guys, and plus South Africa in it. So all of these nine teams will play with each other, and they will battle for the first position and the second position to play on the uh, in 2021, where they will be playing the finals at Lords, and this has been exactly a new way of kind of empowering Test Championship uh, across the world, and because there has been a lot of T20s and ODI cricket going on, and Test is not being kind of not being seen as a kind of a format these days where a lot of young generation love to see quick and fast-paced cricket. Comparatively, if you see a lot of people who kind of followed cricket in 90s or early 80s, 70s, if you see that, there used to be a lot of test cricket that would have been that usually being played across all the nations, and it had a lot of um, eye-catching games that used to happen between big countries like England, Australia, India, Pakistan, then South Africa, New Zealand, all of these uh, top countries, and West Indies being one of the top countries in 80s and early 90s, I would say, where they were dominating cricket at very par, and the kind of cricket they were playing that time was really, like, they had the great bowling attack, the bowling pace attack, I would say, and that's how it all evolved, and that's how Test cricket kept on evolving. So just to cover uh, what happened over the last 5 months, when this was announced by ICC immediately after the Cricket World Cup was kind of done. The first match was played between England and Australia. The first Ashes match, I would say, that was played in Edgbaston, and where we saw a great cricket was played in this version of Ashes. If you saw, the dominance of both the teams were at par, and it gave a new altogether uh, a possibility, and also it also gave a lot of boost to the Test cricket when this was announced, the ICC Test Championship. So how does it work? Is basically there will be nine teams who will be playing with each other, and I would not go in depth what exactly, because there's a lot of information over the internet, and really don't want to kind of waste a lot of your time out over here to understand. If just a quick summarization, nine countries will play. Uh, some of these teams will not play. Couple of test playing nations in this whole format, and that's the way it's been kind of formalized. So the total match Australia will play is 19 matches. Bangladesh will play 14. England will play 22. India will play 18. Then New Zealand will play 13. Pakistan will play 13. Then South Africa is gonna play 16, and Sri Lanka 13, and West Indies 14. So There will be a round robin which will happen, and this will go from, it started August 2019, it will go all the way till 2021, and the last match will be played on Lords, and that's where it will be kind of, we'll get to know the final, the first ICC Test Championship winner, which will be played on 10th June 2021, and that's where it's still to be decided because there's a lot of matches to happen over the last 1.5 years down the line now. It's been only 5 months, and I thought of just making this video because there was not much of videos I saw over the internet or on YouTube or any of the um, content providers kind of did any video to just summarize how things were going and where are the positions and all of that. So if you see now, basically the positions are being put up in this manner where so India is top of the table where they have scored 360 points and they have played 3 series. So this is series wise, and also it will be divided into different categorization. If you're playing 2 test matches, then the point system is different compared to the point system when you play 3, 4 and 5 matches in a series. So if you win a match in a in a series where there will be only 2 matches being played by in the bilateral series between the 2 countries, then the points would be put in, like the winner would get 60 points. If it gets to a tie, then it's 30. The points for draw is 20, and defeat is 0. There's no point system for, if you lose the match, you're not going to get anything. And it goes down to 3. It's 40, 20, 13. So winner would get 40. If it's a tie, then 20, and if it's a draw, it's 30. Then 4 match series where you will win 30 points. Then for tie 15, and for draw 10. Then 5 series where Australia and England played with each other in Ashes. So there the point system was very different, where the winner was getting 24 points, for the tie it was 12, and for the draw it was 8. So this is the reason, if you see, the reason behind India scoring those many points is because they played all of their series were bilateral. So they played their first series against West Indies, then they played with South Africa, and then they played with Bangladesh. So with West Indies it was just a 2-match series if you just validate over there. So they played 2 matches on 22 and 26th August, between 22 and 26th August, where India won the match by 318 runs. And then again they had a next match on 30th September to August 3rd, that was again won by India convincingly by 257 runs. And then happened to be another series where they played a Freedom Trophy between India and South Africa, that was hosted in India, where it was a 3-match series, and India played the first one on 2nd October to 6th of October, and that was won by India convincingly again, won by 203 runs. Then they played the next match in that series on from 10th to 14th October, and India won by an innings and 137 runs in that match. And then the last match was played on 19th October through 23rd October, and India won by an innings and 202 runs. So that's how, if you summarize, that's the reason you will see the points are very high for India in this whole championship, where they are on 360 points. So then comes is Australia, and and Australia have played three series, and there's one going on currently between Australia and New Zealand. So that is where they are playing three match series, if I'm not wrong, out here. So yeah, so it's being played on one. They played on 12th through 16 December. Then there was a Boxing Day test match that got just over 2 days back, and that was 26th through 30th December, where Australia won the first match convincingly, again won by 296 runs, and then Australia again won the second one convincingly by 247 runs. And the last is going to be played in on 3rd of January through 7th of January in 2020. That it's on Sydney Cricket Ground. So yep, so that's how it's being played for Australia. Australia played the Ashes, where they retained the Ashes, and yeah, so Australia is on 256 points, and they also played against Pakistan before they played to New Zealand. It was a two match test series, and it was convincingly won by Australia. The first one they won by an innings and 5 runs. That's how they won, and the second one was won again by an innings and 48 runs. So it was a very convincing victory, and they played at home. So um, it it made sense for them to win this. Then comes is Pakistan, who are on 80 points here. So they played two series, one with Australia, and the second one they are playing against Sri Lanka. So with Australia, they lost both the matches, so there's not much. They got the points from there. So against Sri Lanka, it was a two match test series. So the first one was drawn, so that's the reason you get the draw points for both the teams, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. And then for Pakistan won the second one, and they got 60 points because they won the match by 263 runs against Sri Lanka. And the first match it was drawn, so both the teams got 20 points. So that said, we'll go to the next team, that is Sri Lanka. So they played two series, one with New Zealand and the second one with Sri Lanka. Pardon me. One they played with New Zealand at home, and the second one they recently played with Pakistan, where the first match was drawn and the second one was won by Pakistan. So that's the reason they didn't got the points. So they got 20 points over there. And during the series against New Zealand, they won one of those matches. In that series, it was two match series again. So that's the reason the point system, where they got 60 points in the first match, where they won with against New Zealand by 6 wickets. So it was played on 14th through 18th of August in Sri Lanka, and the second was played in Colombo, which was won by New Zealand. So that's the reason you would see New Zealand have got 60 points over there. So I was coming to the next, New Zealand, because they are playing currently a series in Australia against Australia. They've lost both the matches, so they have not got any points. The only 60 points they have got is because they won the second test in Sri Lanka against Sri Lanka, and so that's the reason they got those 60 points, because they won that test match. If we come down to England, so they played altogether 6 matches till now, 5 in in the Ashes, and currently they are playing against against South Africa, where they lost just 2 days back, I would say. It South Africa won convincingly by 107 runs. It was a match which was going to be ending up in a very tumbled upon, and it ended up on the losing side. Otherwise, they could have won the first match against South Africa convincingly. But yeah, it's all sheer patience, which each individual had to kind of deliberately show in every session. So that couldn't happen, and South Africa actually came winner out of that test match, and they played really well. Their bowlers bowled really well. Philander was one of their key bowler who actually got them wickets on regular intervals out in that whole match. And there was they played one more series with New Zealand. They were in New Zealand. So there, I think so. It was all ODI, if I'm not wrong. They didn't play a test match over there. I think so. They didn't play a test match. I think so. Hold on. Okay, they did play a test match against New Zealand, and there the first test match was won by New Zealand, and the second was drawn between um, England and New Zealand. So the first match was won by an innings and 65 runs by New Zealand, and the second match was draw. So yeah, so that's adds up to the point system for both the teams. So altogether, New Zealand played 3 series, England played 3 series till now, or the third series is going on against South Africa for England, and the third series is going for New Zealand against Australia. So as these are in progress, so the points are yet not being updated. So those will get updated as the series is completed. Then the points will be updated with respect to that. We come to South Africa. They played 2 series, one against India, the second one which is going on against England. So that sums up. They got 30 points, and West Indies played one, and Bangladesh played one till now. So it's 0 points because won. Didn't win any of those test matches, so that's the reason they are on points table 0-0. So overall, if we see this whole test match championship is kind of adding more intense cricket, and also it's giving a lot of competitive cricket between the nations playing with each other in these series. And that actually brings a lot of crowd in the ground, and that they can support their teams, and that actually kind of keeps Test cricket alive. Um, as there's a lot of T20 cricket that's being played, and also the T20 cricket World Cup is gonna be being played in this year in 2020 in October, starting October in Australia. So that's gonna kind of lower down Test cricket. So that's the reason they had to make it more prominent, more interesting for the cricket fans, cricket lovers, and all the spectators who would be coming down in the stadium and the grounds to watch these Test matches and keep Test cricket alive. And overall, I think so. This is one of the great format, I would say, with respect to test the skills of each and every individual who is playing against each other for their respective countries, and that brings up a lot of a kind of an intensity whenever you see that the cricketers are kind of there's a lot of intensity gets into this whole games. Then next comes I want to just cover quickly some of the stats. Who's the top batsman? So currently the most runs being scored by Labuschagne. He scored 978 runs. Then Steve Smith is the next on the list. The top five. I'm just going through these top fives. Steve Smith is nine. Scored. He has scored 965 runs, just few runs behind, 10 runs behind Labuschagne. So it can change after the series against New Zealand. So these they both are competing with each other. And at the back, on third position, if you see, there's David Warner. He has scored 725 runs. Um, then we have two Indians in the list, Mayank Agarwal, who has scored 677 runs because of his double hundred which he scored. Then Ajinkya Rahane, he's on 624 runs. All of these guys have Labuschagne has scored 3 centuries, Steve Smith has scored 4 centuries, David Warner has scored two centuries. Then Mayank Agarwal has scored 3 centuries, and Ajinkya Rahane has scored 2 centuries. Then Pat Cummins is the most wicket taking bowler in this Test Championship. He has got 45 wickets. Then Nathan Lyon has got 37. Then Mohammad Shami is the next on third, 31 wickets. Then is Josh Hazelwood, 31 wickets, and Mitchell Starc on 29 wickets. So yeah, and the last one is just I don't know if you're interested. I'll just read this out. Is highest team totals by an India scored highest score of 601. Then Australia scored 589. That's against Pakistan. So that's not the latest one, if you would see, because they scored good amount of runs against New Zealand also in both the Test matches. Then Australia again against Pakistan, it was 580. Then Pakistan scored 5-5 against Sri Lanka in the recent series in Karachi. Then India scored 502 against South Africa in Visakhapatnam. So yeah, these are all the stats with respect to this Test Championship. So it's going to be a great year in 2020 where we'll see a lot of more matches to come against each of these 9 Test playing nations, and we will keep on evaluating after every series how how each of these teams have performed and where are they on the point tables. And I'll I'll create a next version of this video in after the series is done between South Africa and Australia and between England and South Africa and Australia and New Zealand. After that, I'll again come back and update a new data to you, all of you guys. What are the new statistics? What is the how the point system looks now after these both the series are done. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you everyone, and I wish you all a very happy new year and have a great 2020. And just subscribe to my channel, which is called Sports Talks. And if you like to hear more around sports, cricket, any other sports you want me to cover, I can get out some experts with me on these videos who will also kind of share their knowledge around the sports and all the leagues that are happening across the world on with regards to different sports. Thank you everyone, and have a good day. Thanks.